I know this isn't your responsibility, but would you be a dear and run this down to the supply department for me? It's on the second floor.
Just run this down?
Yes, but make sure you bring the order right back to me. I need it ASAP.
Gotcha. Hey, I know this isn't your responsibility, but just mop the rest of this shit up. I'll be right back.
Hey. It is the Underground Research Institute, plebiscite number 3. Back on deck. It's been a long time, and I apologize. But as I mentioned before, the channel is just a hobby. It's not even a hobby, it's something that after so many years and years and months and hours of putting in research, you just feel like telling somebody instead of just submitting reports to people who request them. So basically that's what we do, is research and create reports for people who need them. As I mentioned before, we don't work or deal with any type of government or intelligence or police agency or anything like that. This is totally underground. Real people that are extremely talented in various different fields who have a common goal, and that's in search of the truth. And that's what we do, research. Something that, unfortunately, on a above the ground scale, doesn't exist amongst many melanated people on the earth. But on the other hand, you have the Brookings Institute, you have the Rand Corporation, you have, it's just too many to name. Anyway, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try to make this one a special one, a little bit different since I haven't been around. But I do want to recap, because there's a lot of stuff. We'll see how long this takes to go over this stuff, and then I'll decide whether we can do what I want to do. Because what I want to do is just really show you how much information goes on at this plebiscite and others. And I'm thinking about doing this. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking about opening up the doors for other talented researchers to create a plebiscite based on region, talent, and whether or not they can pass the screening. Because, just certain people, whether or not you may fit all the qualifications, but it's just because the nature of the research that we do in different subjects, you may have something in your background that it's not smart. But anyway, that's another subject. I might do that. Anyway, so there's a lot of stuff that happened, so let's do a little recap, okay? And just because I was just going through the videos and I remembered Folks Alert, so I always want to ask everybody, what happened to Folks Alert? It just disappeared for the second time. Before I go into that, I want to say, just so you guys know, okay? You have to understand that you're talking about, 3 decades worth of solid research. When it comes to YouTube, I was there when it started. I'm here today, not as a YouTuber, As you see, I don't have that many videos. I don't have another channel. I don't monetize my videos. I don't ask for donations. However, I've seen it all. And even before YouTube was there was Google Video, and there were several other good platforms that served the same purpose that I was on as well. As a keen observer, oftentimes taking notes. Oftentimes, when Google Video was there, you could download the videos. I can say that even still, once YouTube came, I personally can say that this particular plebiscite, there has been, between the team, there's been virtually nothing that hasn't come across someone's eyes. I'm not saying that we've watched every single video on YouTube, but in relations to the subject that I may talk about, we've seen it all. So why I'm saying that, before I get into the folks on my thing, I just wanted to let that be known that we've seen it all. And I know the beginning of Folks Alert, when it was a website, magazine. I'm not going to get into all of that, but I just want to pose the question, what happened to it again? And I'm asking the public, for whoever's listening, what happened to the lawsuit? I mean, one thing I will say is that this individual, and I have nothing against this person whatsoever, that no one can doubt that this person is has persona, and is able to get a crowd, and I think his history says that. The question is, with a person with that much charisma, how can something so influential keep consistently disappearing for whatever reason? And again, I allude to the lawsuit because I'm alluding to this charisma that this gentleman has. In the future, I may choose to psychoanalyze based on research, and try to look into this profile, because it's a very interesting individual if you've seen the whole timeline of events. So I'm really interested. When he came out with this lawsuit, I really was interested to see if that was going to come into fruition. Now, while we're on that, we're just gonna keep segueing on, because these whole little genre that we're on leads me as a researcher to say, who is the new Snooki? Why am I saying that? Because I'm sure many people have seen the court records. And I'm sure some of the people, based on age, grew up watching the documentary and was introduced to this person called Snooki. Maybe even some individuals who participate in that lifestyle or in the street life may have even rubbed elbows with this person. Only only to come to find out that he agreed to work for the government for a reduced sentence on a different crime. I think it was gun related or drug related, if I'm not mistaken. So you have this whole element of surprise that this person who was to some known as a superpath was actually acting, and this was his defense in court, and they still gave him the time. Because that's really what history says. If you ever become a snitch or informant, and even sometimes a low-level operative, deep cover operative, you do so much dirt that after a while, in order for them to clean their hands, you're expendable. And whatever that means. Expendable. Could be jail, could be something else. Could be a bad coffee. Could be a honey trap. Your brakes might go out, whatever. So my question is, who's the new Snooki? It's not just one also. And my question is he on the internet? Because see, it's 2018. And even before, soon as the internet got popular, through the social engineering, everybody wanted to be a pimp. Coming through the late 90s to into the 2000s, you had all these rappers rapping about pimping. You had Pimp My Ride, so they eased the society into the culture of pimping and hoeing. Even if you were in certain cities like New York and San Francisco, Seattle, Las Vegas, these pimped hip and hoe theme parties. And as the internet became more common in society, you had everybody wanting to be a pimp, which creates the utmost opportunity for a mouse trap scenario. And that's what we see with the, in my take of the cross-country pimping. Through this conduit of social engineering, where all these documentaries and movies and, you know, even the movie with Terrence Howard and I forget the actress's name, but you see how they popularized this. And even they subconsciously imprinted it in the brain in the movie with Samuel L. Jackson with the horny ass white girl that was trying to be chained up with David Banner. So you gotta understand, people, that if in 2000, by the time we get to 2018, it's only the natural course of evolution that pimps, or supposed pimps, informants, deep cover operatives, and all of the above, and wannabe pimps and all of the above, would be front and center on the internet. So that's what my question is. Who's the new Snooki? And is he on the internet? Moving to my next topic. We lost Michael Money Moroy. Now I want to pose another question. If there was no such thing as Folks Alert, would anyone really doubt Michael Moroy? Was this thought of him being part of the cross-country campaign. Was there any merit to that claim outside of Folks Alert? And I don't have an answer to that. I'm asking the public again. Because the thing about it is it was injected into society, and consequently there was a reaction to it. A big reaction by several people. So, it's something to think about. Also, on another note, was Michael Mulroy an honest journalist? Meaning, was he just truly trying to give a window into a society, a small window at that, into a society that was so taboo, and showing pretty much the brighter side of it? But as you got to know his channel, he actually showed the whole spectrum of it. You know, I have no, like the guy from Folks Alert, I have really no ill will for Michael Mulroy, and I sympathize with his family for his passing. And to be honest, I think as a young entrepreneur, as a filmmaker, documentary maker, I think that he deserves credit. I think it's only natural, and it's a natural assumption. I think it's a weak argument to say that he was part of it without any real certified evidence, and you can easily get it. That's the cool thing about making allegations about people being snitches and this, that, and other is information. If you know how to get it, and if you have the money, sometimes if it's needed to get it, you can get it. It's not impossible. I don't understand why people throw around the snitch and agent name when you can really go find out. So when people do that, I just think that they're just talking, and they're really not about it. You know what I mean? Because you can really get the information. It's only natural that a prosecutor, if a documentary is in public. Now, if you just think about it, if you were a filmmaker, producer, you would have anybody, just like an adult filmmaker, you would have the people in the movie sign waivers, sign release forms, okay? That they agree to be in this public display of their life. Okay? That's only natural. Once this documentary is in public and the person is talking about the lifestyle in a way that can be used against him, it's only natural that a prosecutor or U.S. attorney would use it. You don't have to be a part of any conspiracy. I mean, just like a rapper's lyrics have been used against them in court. I mean, so did he snitch on himself? I mean, in theory, you could say that he did, but you can't say that he's part of a conspiracy against himself because his rap lyrics, he wrote the lyrics. So, I mean, I think it's a very weak argument. I think Michael Mulroy's legacy as an independent documentary filmmaker should be one to be exalted, because few have had that creative eye and minds to even want to, tap into that world to the degree that he did. So I think, as an independent filmmaker, as a journalist, I think he did, a work that could be studied, on a university level. How he structured You know, you can study how his videography, his interview style. There's a lot of things that people could learn from Michael Mulroy and Too Real for TV. I know in the past, for research, different reasons, you know, I don't know if I voiced it in any of my videos, but I maybe voiced it in private, and I have had my criticism of him, but at the end of the day, I think he's a talent. The next topic I want to talk about, because we're still in this genre, but before we do that, we want to say, it's a great news to hear that the rapper Doobie, aka Sugar Wolf Pimp, was released from prison. Let's talk about the Rosebud and Sinful issue before I get into, because this is going to bleed into, I want it to bleed into something else I want to talk about. And that's the, Sinetta TV and the Hotel Hustlers. But Rosebud and Sinful, you had to have been listening to that Sinful show live to really understand what took place. The reason why I say that, because when it was live, it's not the same as when you play it back, although you can still get the gist of what took place. In my humble estimation, first of all, what Rosebud was doing, and even in the same conversation, he came back and calmed down and explained what he was doing. I knew, based on life experience, what Rosebud was doing. In fact, I have several people, blood related and non-blood related, that throughout my life, in different times, have done what Rosebud did in that show with Sinful. The reaction, in my humble expectation, was incorrect. And anyone, I believe, regardless of their reasons, they may endorse Sinful, and behind closed doors they may not endorse that situation. But if you followed the series of shows, there was another time when that subject was reopened and Gangsta Brown was on the line, and Gangsta Brown reminded Sinful of, he said, do you remember what Gorgeous Ray told you? Calm down. I could say something, but it's not about the past that could confirm the mindset that Gorgeous Ray was in when he said what he said to Sinful. The advice. I pose this question. I have no ill will for anyone. This is a researcher. I have files and files and files and audio recordings. As I mentioned before in the Pimpin' video, you know, I have like 5 unreleased books, you know, about this lifestyle. Different reasons, you know, just over the years of researching. This is different places that I lived in my life coming up were places that were there was a heavy concentration of this lifestyle, and it's well documented. And so growing up, I was as a youth, I had photography as a hobby, and you know, I had a thirst for knowledge, and so you know, I talked to people, interviewed people, and over the years, I understand the culture. And I'm just gonna pose this, or this notion that I spoke about before. The organic world versus the digital world. Organically, how would that conversation have taken place? Meaning, let's say Rosebud is still retired, but well, let's say one day he decides to hang out with some old friends on the track. And Central's there. And they have the same exact conversation. Trust me, people, it would not have come about how it came about. In fact, it would have come about that situation would have broken, shaped, and molded and sharpened Central. That's what would happen. Because had that conversation been organically, Central would not have had any gas in the tank. And when I mean gas in the tank, I mean supporters. That's what I mean by gas in the tank. Supporters. He would have been on an island on the track. For that moment when Rosebud intensified and increased his passion, and he put stress in his voice and squinted his eyes and looked straight into the eyes of Central, it would have produced a different reaction. And I am 1000% sure of that. But in the digital world, when you have people unseen, unknown, untouchable, unaccountable for what they say in the chat room, streaming live, well, there's no real consequence. The only consequence is if you don't respond. Well, actually, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, had he had the same reaction that would have happened organically, Central would have blown up 10 times more than he is right now. And I'm being honest, because he needed that to sharpen and develop who he is as an individual, regardless of his lifestyle. regardless of his lifestyle. I'm not even talking about, this is, you understand, there's a part of that culture, and this is why it was closed off in the past, that those men who participated in the culture had a unique characteristic that the general population of men did not have. Or at least, if they had it, they didn't live it 100% every day, 7 days a week, every hour, every minute. That's the difference between a Sinful and a Rosebud, to be honest. That's the real difference. Rosebud is one of those unique kind of human beings that Rosebud, you could put him in nearly any situation and he would find a way to win. I cannot say the same for Sinful. I don't see that. I see reaching. And what I mean by reaching is the need to be accepted. And a pimp doesn't need to be accepted. In fact, a pimp will tell you it's a lonely game. A pimp will tell you it's a lonely game. Why? Because he lives in a society where is 100% against a pimp, while men desire to be want to be a pimp because of the money and the lifestyle and having beautiful women and the sense of control. At the same time, men desire a pimp because they want access to his women because they're going to pay. At the same time, the criminal system and the general society and the religious society is against the pimp. At the same time, anytime his woman can pick up and leave, something can happen to her, and therefore, that and a myriad of other things, it's a lonely game. The earlier generations were unique kind of individuals who kind of just, whatever life took them into that lifestyle, for whatever reason. But all of those individuals are individuals who were special. They're special. And I'm not saying Sinful's not special. I think he is. I just think that he hasn't come all the way into himself. And I believe that if he humbles himself a little bit, that's one thing. In maturation, it requires some humility. You can mature physically, you can get older, but in real maturation requires some humility and some submission to what's, you gotta let things get to where they're supposed to be. And one of those processes could have been for Sinful was to go with the flow. At that moment, he needed to become water, like Bruce Lee said, and really just absorb what was going on. It would have sharpened him to a level, especially if you maintain the relationship with Rosebud. So that's my take. Organically, that situation wouldn't have ended up that way. I don't believe Sinful would have done and said all the things that he did online that he would have done straight to his face. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And that's just the thing that, people that are become fans. See, that's the bad thing about showing your face on and getting fans and chat people. And that's a drug, man. That'll corrupt you. It sure will, you know. It'll corrupt the soft and the weak. And the average. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. Sonetter TV and the whole Top Hustlers. I don't know. Let me see how long I've been talking, man, because, oh, man, I'm at 35 minutes. Well, I don't know, man. Yeah, let me see if I can keep y'all, keep y'all attention. Well, this is another one. Ever since this dude got on YouTube, I've been on it. I've been watching him. Okay? I've seen it all. Royce Watkins, Omar Johnson, Polite, Sarah City, Irritated Genie. All of them. Seen them all when they first got on. And I know I'm gonna hurt somebody's feelings here. But these is all jokesters, okay? People, drama doesn't follow sincere people. You know, I don't think, Harriet Tubman had a whole bunch of drama behind her. You know what I mean? I mean, this is ridiculous. First of all, some of these people, Sonetta couldn't survive where I'm from. Sonetta couldn't survive. Polite couldn't survive. Boyce could survive because he's more of a snake type. You know, Sarah shouldn't say he get popped a long time ago. And Irritated Genie, he's a snake too. Because Royce Watkins, let me go down the line. So Royce Watkins is all of his content. I don't know if you guys heard them exposure, but he's going through a marketing company to tap into the black market. Omar Johnson. Okay, I'm not gonna get into the degree thing. I'm gonna say this: the dude has so many personal issues that's so apparent in how he responds to things that he's definitely not qualified to do what he's trying to do. I mean, because the dude has serious issues. I mean, just listen to how he responds to negative comments, and then just look how the stripper thing is. I mean, he's really he's not even street smart. You know what I mean? He's just not. That's not the dude you want. Because even like a person that's not street smart, but just is just an upright, straightforward person, wouldn't fall for that. Especially if they didn't have no trick in them, they wouldn't fall for that little stripper thing. I mean, that was to me when you collect that, and you just collect all of the evidence that's out there regarding that stripper thing. Man, this dude is kind of, I don't know, he's a weirdo. Sorry, Omar Johnson's a weirdo. But who's the ultimate weirdo is Polite. Now, I got a couple videos on Polite that I'm not gonna upload to YouTube. Okay, I'm not gonna do no expose on Polite. But I got a video that Polite took. Well, Sonetta had them both up, but he took it down. And the reason why is because Polite has a lecture when he made a claim and he tried to show them right there and it didn't work. It was a lie. And see, the thing about Polite, he's been lying and lying and lying and lying. And this is what the thing, when it's clear and obvious that the guy is lying, and Sarnetta still wants to put him on there. Sarnetta is a snake anyway. Sarnetta is the guy who used to sell, you know, all the Steve Cloakley and Joshua Kwesi and John Henry Clark and all those guys used to bootleg all that stuff. He's a bootlegger. You know what I mean? When those guys died broke, you know, Sarnetta buying a Benz. Sarnetta wouldn't last in my neck. Somebody get him. Sarnetta been robbed in where I'm from. When you all the janky, all the real grimy, you know, janky con artist type of sloppy type, real, you know, the real niggas can see right through that shit. Them niggas get killed or ran up out of town, or they get robbed and beat up, taped up and taped, you know, taped to the chair and duct taped and all that. Ain't nobody going for that where I'm from. Especially Sarnetta and Polite. Them two right there, and Sarah and Seta, man, look, you might get some suckers that fall for that, but after a while, some real street cats is gonna be like, well, you ain't busting your gun and shit's going on. The police is still getting us. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. Sarah said in City, the first time I saw him way back, I think it was probably like around 2006. I want to say 2006, 2007, somewhere around there. This dude was a cartoon. I said, ain't no way, ain't nobody piped up like that. How you gonna be piped like that in front of the camera? What do you do when you go to when you go to the court? What do you do when you go to 7-Eleven? What do you do? I mean, why? That's some corny shit right there from the gate. And then to see how he did Tahuti at the Nation of Islam lecture, when it got hot and it was about to get physical, Sabro Sidney dipped out on him. Sabro Sidney said he called the police by name and said green light on him. When he had the website, and you can't say I'm snitching. Niggas like, this ain't snitching. He's a dumb nigga. I mean, first of all, how do you get to do it and you say you don't go to jail? That's the thing. He on his website, and this the cold thing. I found out more shit about Salvador Sin City. Guess where I found it? I found it on all the white nationalists, not the white nationalists, that's too easy. All the white extremists, forums. I found it on 2. And they had this nigga's home address. They had the Google Earth pictures of this shit. They had 3 different addresses connected to his name and some of his family members' name, and had the pictures on there, had his real name, all his websites, the address and telephone number he gave for his domain and all that old stuff. Had all of that on their website. That's why I found out Sarah City. Then I went to his website. Well, I had been going to his website, but that made me really start looking at the videos. I found a video, and he was doing a video in response to some police beating. He said green light on the police officer, gave his full name. Come on, man. And the nigga didn't go to jail? Come on, man. Nah. Irritated Genie, you can't work for Homeland Security, have level E9, be a person who purchases armaments for Homeland Security, then come back to the government, and then you gotta watch Irritated Genie when he first came out. This nigga was shoot 'em up bang bang too. So I'm saying, if y'all on that them whole top hustler type niggas, all them RBG, hey, you be in the FEMA camp for sure. Okay. Next subject. That's enough on that bullshit. But I'm gonna get back to them. I'm gonna do a show on them, and I'm gonna let you guys see some things. I'm not gonna do no video cuts so where it could get taken down, but I'm just gonna show you the bullshit, you know, but in a way that I know how to show it. Okay, I know you gotta be careful when I'm talking about this because all the new internet stuff, and that's what I'm gonna talk about that and then I'll get into that. Okay, y'all gotta understand, man. There's a lot of YouTube changes, you probably figured it out. A lot of YouTube channels, you know, they call it the YouTube purge, based on, you know, content of what people are putting out there. But regardless of that, there's internet changes as well. And this is really where it comes from, you know. You gotta look at that executive order. Just Google the executive order that Obama made for the internet. And then just Google, like, internet and the United Nations. And also, even where it's going to be next level, and Google 5G. This is the new internet. Okay, if you want to know the new internet, just go look at a trailer for the game Watch Dog. Okay, and just really try to understand what. There's one video is going to show you the system that they live in. That's going to be that new 5G internet. Okay. Also, on the internet, especially on YouTube, and I'm just gonna say it like this, and hopefully you can read between the lines, but I'll get a little slightly specific, but I'm not gonna name any names. So I'm gonna say like this: the rat lines are open on YouTube, and what I mean by that, on YouTube, there are people that are spies, snitches, working in espionage on YouTube, meaning they are using their cover as a YouTuber, but literally they're working as they're collecting intelligence, okay? And this information is really, really on next level right now. If you're a person, you know, that's been watching this shit since it came out, man, it's on next level right now, and I know most of you guys don't know that. I know most of you guys cannot pick out the obvious ones, because there's some that are just plain out obvious, and I'm not talking about the people that just talk about conspiracies. No. Remember what I said. The rat lines are open on YouTube. Spies, snitches, espionage agents, disinformation agents, and intelligence gatherers. That's what I mean. And they have YouTube pages. Some of them are popular. I know the obvious ones, and when I say obvious, those are ones that are already been exposed by people. And some of the people that exposed them, they've already taken them. They've taken those videos down. They exposed it, kept it up for a few days, took the video down. Some of those videos we download, we got them. Also, there's a way you can get them anyway. Even if they are taken down, you can still get them, or at least capture, get an image of it. You know, you can get it. Okay, I'm not gonna go into details. So that's the thing about it. I'm just trying to tell you that, man, because you just better watch out who you listen to, who you like on YouTube. That's deep right now. It's deeper than it ever was. Before, okay, I'll tell you, back in 2000, in the early, when the YouTube first came out, it was real easy, okay? It was real easy. For a researcher, for a person who's looking for something like that. It was real easy. Let's move to 2010. It got a little bit more trickier, but there were still Because what happened was, what muddied the waters was the people, a lot of conspiracy channels, and some of the conspiracy channels do fall under disinformation, okay? But some of these channels, man, it's just, wow, man. Yeah. And some of these channels is hustling you for money now, you know what I mean? I'm just telling you that you guys gotta watch out, okay? Now, you guys know about the Black Lives Matter, I hope. You know, that's some bullshit. Stay the fuck away from them. That's some total mind control bullshit, social engineering. I'm not gonna talk about the gender neutrality in the context that most do. And not because I don't want to. I just don't want, I don't look at it like that. You know, those people they talk about it in a way that for sure their video is gonna get taken down, but I don't even want to look at it like that. I just want you to know you need to research a timeline on feminism and a timeline on transhumanism. And that's really where this is going, okay? That's what it's all about. The people who are talking about it in terms of religious or moral or, you know, nature and this type of thing, I'm not going to go there because I think if you look at the concept of the timeline and study the timeline, you'll see what I see. So, I mean, we don't need to talk any further. Once you understand, and then you just look who's behind it. Hey, who's behind transhumanism? Who's behind feminism? Going back to this Red Lines on YouTube, I want you to, a real good case study would be the Kanika case. What happened, if you were to watch, the thing about it is you can't become a fan of someone's channel. You gotta, as a researcher, whenever an event happens, the first 48 to 72 hours is the most important time to collect as much information as you can. Because as you see, as time moves on, the narrative always changes. But if you focus on that first 48 to 72 hours by collecting facts. Facts are not truths. Facts are just something that is documented. She went here at this time. Write that down. When you start to see the narrative change, you're supposed to document that. If you use the Kanika case as a case study of research, that's not the word I want. You want to look for, you take the case, excuse me. This hard grade is really tripping me out. Anyway, you take the Kanika case as a case study for looking for disinformation agents. And how you want to do that, I'm sorry, I got it. Now it's hard to do it, but had you started at the beginning, the first 48 to 72 hours, you want to start to collect facts. You want to start to organize and categorize those facts. And as time moves past the 72 mark period, you're going to start to document inconsistencies with the facts that you've collected and categorized and where they're coming from. And what you're going to find, if you keep doing it, you're going to find that you will see who's driving what narrative, and then You don't necessarily have to find a motive, because you can look at all the facts that you collected. You know, you don't necessarily have to find out why, but you'll see, okay, this person is driving this narrative. That person is driving that narrative. This person is driving that narrative. Or this person said this on this video, or on that video they said this. When you do that, that's how you can be a person like me in confidence and say that Sonetta and Polite are con artists. Okay? Because I did that with those people. Sarah Sudenseti is a con artist also. I'm not going to say he's a con artist in the sense of money, but he's a con artist in the sense that he ain't who he portrays he is. He might be drunk off of it by now, but all that hoop, holla, holla, yada, 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 that's, you know, you see he ain't even on that no more. He got y'all drunk off of that. Polite is so fucked up right now, he don't even really know what to do. Because I believe, you know, if it came out, I'll put it like this, Polite's is so fucked up to me when I hear him talk. If it came out that he was an MK Ultra or MK Naomi victim, I would believe it. Because I don't see how nobody believes that motherfucker. And Sonetta, my God, damn, that nigga in one conversation could be saying, I love you, you my brother, and then in the same conversation you tell your mother to suck my dick, or, you know, say some real super foul shit. I'm like, man, I ain't never ever been around no niggas like that. I ain't never been around nobody like that. Ain't nobody in my circle like that. Ever in my life. Niggas like that don't survive around no people like us. Man, I don't even know, man, that's some weird shit. I mean, I don't know how that shit even, because New York got some real ones in the streets. I'm like, how outside that even survive, man? That's weird, man. That's weird. It's real weird. Is it because they knocked them, you know, the giant dude, you know, I don't know, man. It's weird, man. That's some weird shit, man. But yeah, if you look at this Kanika case, you can see, you'll start to see some of the disinformation. The espionage and the intelligence collectors are going to be hard to find, but they're out there, and some of them are kind of obvious if you subscribe to their page and start being a frequent commenter. You might, and if you have any email exchange with them, you're gonna get fucked up. You're gonna get fucked up. You're gonna get some shit on your computer or on your phone. So, and the snitches are out there, and the spies are out there, and some of them have been exposed, like I said. The last couple things I'm gonna say, the school shootings and the mass shootings. I'm not gonna go into hoax and all that stuff, you know, that's part of this information thing, okay? So, the thing about it is this is really mainly for, you always see they're pushing gun laws, and it's mainly for also social engineering. You know, right now, we're gonna become a society that's just conditioned that at any moment, wherever we are, it might be a mass shooting, and that's gonna change, especially once they drop in this 5G. If we get to that level, it's gonna have to turn into a police state, you know, definitely. And you're talking about the drones, you're talking about the body scanners at all the schools and malls and airports, and You're talking about, keyless entry into your homes and works, and the Google glasses and with better features is going to come out. Apple talking about we only got 10 more years with the cell phone. It's about to get next level, man. People, you gotta stay in touch with the Creator. You know what I mean? If you look at the world, I'm not gonna preach any religion to you, but I pity for you if you don't believe in the Creator. But if you look at the world, something magnificent and out of man's control. You see, man is planning to do a lot of crazy shit. Well, they have been for hundreds of years. It ain't nothing new. But we getting to the next level, man. It's if we hitting all categories. You see what I'm saying? If you look at the world, we hitting all categories. So usually when you fill up the blocks, the Creator might, I'm not saying hit reset button, but might let the world know that you just healed it. You did, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Peace. On the next show, I'm gonna talk about. I went a whole hour. Wow. Okay, so on the next show, I'm gonna talk about some more current, up-to-date things. Some of the more interesting things. I'm gonna try to keep doing. I'll try to do more shows more frequently. We'll see how it goes. Peace, one love.